This original poster is 23 female. Friend, 23 female as well, sent nudes to my husband, who is 31 male, and he rejected her but never told me anything. Okay, so this one might, we'll see where this goes, but this one might also be more relationship than friend.
But, I mean, we can discuss the friend portion because, like, yeah. What the heck?
That already is bad.
So horrible.
Let's see what she did about that. All right. Sorry if this was too long. I did my best to summarize. Well, we were in our senior year of high school. Husband was our substitute teacher. And also, obviously, all the girls liked him because he was the only young teacher we had. And I'd be lying if I said that no one ever tried to flirt with him, because we all did at the time. But he was always very professional and never tried anything with any of us.
Just sounds like bull. That sounds like BS because like he ended up marrying one of his students.
Clearly.
Okay.
Oh, all right.
Go on.
Wait, and she's only 23. What the heck? All right, sorry. Okay, wait. They're in high school. Let's pretend. I don't know if they say what year it was in, but let's say.
Okay, let's say it was
he's 8 years older than her, so she was 16.
24.
Yeah, 24.
She's still a child.
She's still a baby. All right. Not a baby, sorry. 16-year-olds are not babies. But
they're still kids.
That's still a significant difference, especially in, like, thought processes, right? Like, how you think about the world at 16. Some kids are
more mature.
But 24 is old enough to know better.
Yeah.
Okay. He and I met again a year after my graduation, and that's when we started dating. And at first, my friend used to joke, saying things like that I was very lucky to have what everyone wanted in high school and such. And at first, it was funny because things between my husband and I weren't that serious, but then our relationship became, like, really, really serious, and I didn't like those jokes anymore, and I let her know, and she stopped. And for years, she never did those kinds of jokes again. She got a boyfriend, too, so I thought all those things she said were part of the past. They're still 19, right? Yeah. But it was not like that. A few days ago, I was taking pictures of our baby and our dogs with my husband's phone, since his phone is 1,000 times better than mine. And at that moment, he received a DM from an anonymous Instagram account. So I opened, and I didn't like what I saw at all, because it was a video of my friend being inappropriate.
I don't even know what to say. Okay, keep on going.
Just so you know, the post uses spicier details, but we will link
yeah,
to the story. You can read it on your own. At first, I was too naive and thought, well, maybe she sent it to the wrong person. But then she said something like she was mad that he blocked her main account and asked him if he liked the other videos, which means that she sent him other videos from her main account. So I found the chat. And yes, he had blocked her, but the chat was still there, which means he can see those pics and videos whenever he wants, and just thinking about it makes me feel really sick. In that chat, she confessed that she has always been in love with him, and that her boyfriend doesn't satisfy her because she can only think about him, and that she knows that lately he's not having much fun, and if he wants, she can, quote-unquote, give him a hand without anyone knowing.
Is that okay?
Never.
No, I mean, like, to say.
Oh. I think it's fine.
Okay.
I think you meant, is that okay for a friend to do? And that hurt me so much because a few weeks ago we talked about how I felt ashamed of having sex again because I gave birth 2 months ago and that I feel insecure about my body. But I told her that as good friends that I thought we were, because I expected her to give me advice or something. I don't know. I didn't expect her to try to sleep with my husband. And the only thing my husband told her was that she was crazy and that he was going to show me that chat so that I can see who she really is, and then he blocked her. But it's been a few days and he never showed me those chats, and that makes me think that maybe he liked those pics and videos. So I confronted him, and he told me that he doesn't even care about her and that he didn't tell me anything about those messages because he didn't know how to tell me, and because he thought that finding out about that Could have been bad for me. I had a really bad time during my pregnancy, and he's been very concerned about my health ever since. So that's why he said that. And he told me that's why he locked himself in his office every time she came to visit us, because she makes him feel uncomfortable. That's fair.
I don't have a husband, so I don't know. Like, would you be mad though if, like, I don't know. Like, I just don't have that situation.
There's just so many layers to this.
Okay,
there's still 2 more paragraphs.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I asked him if he thinks our intimate life is boring, and he said no, that he's satisfied and that he didn't mind not having relations for weeks, because when we had relations again, it felt like the first time. And hearing that was really nice, but I can't stop thinking about why he didn't delete the chat. He says it was so he could show me when he's ready, but I really don't know. Now we're on vacation, but all I can do is think about that. Even every time we have relations, I think that maybe I'm not enough, and that's why he didn't delete the chat, to see her pics and videos. And he noticed that, so he told me 1,000 times that he thinks I'm hot, and that he only thinks of me when we have relations, and that he only saw those pics and videos when he opened the chat the first time, and that he never saw them again. It says he swore he doesn't even think my so-called friend is attractive, and I want to believe him, but at the same time I feel confused. We've been together for 5 years and I never felt that way, and I don't know what to do to stop feeling that way. Maybe it's the hormones, I don't know, but I feel so sad and so bad about myself, and I would like to know how I could deal with this. Okay, so I think she doesn't mention it, but I feel like she's pretty clear on not being friends with her friend anymore, because that's kind of the worst friend ever.
I mean, she didn't say that she wasn't going to not be friends with her, but I would be surprised if she would want to stay friends with someone like that, because, like, that just sounds like the worst friend ever. Like, okay, imagine if, like, one of your friends did that with just, like, first off, Justin would, like, be calling you in 2 seconds, though.
Yeah, like, he would tell me immediately.
Oh my gosh, right? That would be him.
Yeah, for sure.
But, like, yeah, I don't have a husband, but I could imagine being really, really angry. But I don't know, is that okay? Because he did say he wanted to tell her, but he just didn't know how to. Like, I actually understand that.
Honestly,
but I don't know.
My perspective, it's only been a few days. This literally happened. It's been a few days. And I get from her perspective, this feels like a lifetime, because clearly they've had relations multiple times since then, which I'm like, how often are you doing this? But, like, because according to her, she's like, every time we have relations, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, first of all, y'all are pretty healthy. But also, like, yeah, I can see how a few days can feel like a lifetime. But I don't know. Maybe it seemed like, based on what she said, based on all the information we have about what he's telling her, it sounds like he's really trying to, he was really trying to just come up with the best way to tell her. Obviously, she had some issues when she was pregnant. Mm-hmm. He knows that she's very fragile. It's been 2 months since she had a baby. That's actually really fast to start having relations after having a baby. They say you should wait 3 months.
I saw this TikTok the other day. I don't know what. I think because you were pregnant at one point and my phone knows you were pregnant, or that, like, there was going to be a baby in my life. So I got a bunch of pregnancy TikToks. Yeah. And it was like, you shouldn't have a baby for, like, the first, I don't remember, it was like 6 weeks or something at least.
Oh, I think it is. Yeah, I think you're right.
But then that was when the woman was talking to a male doctor. But then when in the reverse, it was like with a female doctor. Mm-hmm. And she was like, as long as you want, 6 months, a year, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever, like, feels comfortable. So I think it just depends on the person. I don't know. I've never had a baby.
I had to do a quick Google search because I wasn't, after I said it, I wasn't sure. I was wrong. It says that technically, 4 to 6 weeks for your body to heal and be ready to have relations again. But, agreed, my doctor told me the same thing. She said, wait as long as you want. Like, so, I mean, it's been 2 months, so she clearly feels comfortable doing whatever again. And he understands that she's in a very fragile state. So it seems like he's doing everything he can to make sure that she, doesn't freak out. This is horrible information to have to tell somebody.
I get that, but, like, I feel like at the same time, because he didn't tell her right away, now there's going to be this, like, this issue between them where she doesn't trust him as much anymore, which sucks because I don't think it's his fault.
It doesn't seem like he did anything.
So it just really sucks for him, I guess, because like now she's gonna be questioning for the rest of her life. Oh my gosh, is he like looking at other pictures of other people? Oh my gosh, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which isn't fair because I don't think this is his fault at all.
I think the mistake here that he made is that he has felt uncomfortable around her friend for a long time. Mm-hmm. And instead of saying something to her like, hey, your friend's off. Like, your friend is, you know, making flirtatious comments or giving me the winky eye or whatever. Instead of telling her that, he just hides in his office whenever she's there. And having a husband, I mean, or even just like being in a relationship for a long time with one person, I know that sometimes your significant other doesn't want to be around certain people for other reasons. Like, it doesn't have to be that the person makes them uncomfortable or whatever. They're just like, I don't like that person. Or maybe like they're just like, oh, you know, trying to be respectful of girl time or whatever.
Yeah.
So for me, that's where I'm coming from. That's what I'm understanding. I'm not automatically assuming that this makes you uncomfortable. So I feel like he should have said something a long time ago.
Yeah. Because, like, know? This just kind of makes him look bad.
It's her best friend.
And this makes him look bad because now it's like, oh, well, so this has been going on for a while and you haven't mentioned it. Like, how can I trust you? I feel like there's a lot of, like, trust issues now.
Yeah.
Because of this. But I get it. Because, like, if you have a best friend, your significant other doesn't want to ruin that because they obviously love you and they know that you love your friend.
Right.
So this is like a really crappy situation. I don't know if that's an okay word, but that's
Can I say though, like if it were the shoe were on the other foot, how would you handle the situation? If you had a significant other's friend that was making you feel uncomfortable, that you felt like you couldn't be in the same room with that person, how would you tell them or would you keep that from them?
I think in the beginning, I would try to see if I could fix it just by being like, hey, you're making me uncomfortable. Can you not? Mm-hmm. But that also scares me because I'm like, well, what if, like, the person retaliates and, like, says, hey, she's making me uncomfortable? Do you know what I mean?
Would you say it in front of your significant other or would you pull him aside and be like, hey, you gotta stop that. That's weird.
I don't know. I don't know because I'd want to resolve it without my significant other knowing. But maybe that's the wrong way because, like, I feel like that's the way where you lose the trust. I think maybe it's better to just tell your significant other right away, no matter what. Because, like, they're supposed to be your best friend, right? They're supposed to be the person you tell everything to.
That's true.
So I think probably you wanting to handle it yourself is because you don't fully trust your significant other to not freak out. Mm-hmm. So I guess the best way is to tell them.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought about that unless we talked about this right now, though.
That's true.
But that sounds like the more logical way.
I feel like the more secrets you keep, the worse it is in the end. So, 100% agree with communication is the best policy. Top comment says, it seems pretty clear to me he's being completely honest. It's not an easy conversation to say, hey, your friend is trying to seduce me, and you've been clear that you're more self-conscious right now. He probably didn't feel like it was the best time, and if he was really trying to hide it without showing, he'd save the pictures and delete the chat.
That's true.
Hey. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that this guy just didn't know what to do, was scared because he didn't know how his wife would react, and she was in a fragile state. Now, could all of that be a lie? Possibly, but I agree. Like, he could have tried to hide it.
That's true.
And the fact that he kept it kind of does show that he didn't care. In a way. Do you know what I mean?
The fact that he kept the chat?
Yeah, like, he was just like, whatever, I don't care. I don't know. Am I wrong?
That's the only part I'm weird about. Because I'm like, maybe he could have taken screenshots of the chat showing that, and then taken a screenshot of her account showing that he blocked it. I don't know. Maybe I'm looking too much into this.
Well, to me, I'm just thinking he wants proof. Because to me, I'd be like, I want proof that this happened. Yeah. And I don't want this to be like,
oh, you photoshopped it.
Yeah. So this is proof that it actually happened that I can show you later.
Proof. Yeah.
Because if you just take a screenshot, it doesn't really count.
Come across the same.
Also, you know what I would have done? I probably would have reported that behavior to Instagram, because Instagram will, like, delete her account.
That's true.
But, I mean, I'm a bit more petty, so.
Same. I need some coffee.